What's up, good people? This is Keeping Up with Henry and Sherry. Your boy Henry.
Welcome, it's your girl Sherry.
Yes, another episode here.
Yes,
Keeping Up with
the
Henry
latest
and Sherry.
and the greatest of Keeping Up with Henry and Sherry.
All the way up, baby.
All the way.
All the way up. Man, today's been something, ain't it?
It's really been something.
Yeah,
this
been
week
something.
has been something.
Really,
Like,
yeah.
You know, people always say life be life.
And it be life and Sherry.
It do.
Be life.
But we got to remember, God be God too.
God is in control.
Always.
Exactly.
Always.
So look, y'all, we would love for you to subscribe here to the channel, Keeping Up with Henry and Sherry. Smack that bell. We need to get these subs up. We would appreciate you. Look, if you find something that's adding value to your life, please let us know. Comment below. We would love to hear your feedback, okay? Because without you, we cannot do this, okay?
Absolutely.
And we appreciate you so much, okay?
Absolutely. And we need you to share and ask your friends to subscribe and your family members. Just let the world know. You know, now, if it was a mess,
But see, that's how we do.
we wouldn't have no problem sharing.
Look,
But because
none.
this is real talk,
right.
grown folks talk, y'all don't want to tell nobody about this.
Mess.
But it ain't mess. This is good stuff.
I was cheating on you and all that stuff.
They wouldn't have to tell you you'd be on the news.
I'll be on the news. I'll be on Fox.
And the latest headline is, for real.
Yeah.
Though, please tell somebody about us, okay? Even if you just tell 3 people. Like, if you tell 3 and they tell 3, like, just get the word out, okay? Do that for us.
Follow us on Facebook, Keeping Up with Henry and Sherry. Instagram.
Yes, all platforms.
Yes,
all platforms. You will not be disappointed, honey.
You look wonderful today.
Thank you. I don't know why you're trying to copy me.
Oh, we do have brain. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, my bad, man. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Well, you know, I just want to be unified with you.
I appreciate that.
Oneness. It's all about the oneness, ain't it?
It is.
Okay. Well, y'all,
if you say so.
let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, what we talking about tonight?
Oh, man. Tonight's going to be very different. I think tonight is going to help some people.
Okay.
In this, we're going to be talking about grieving.
Grieving. Okay.
Grieving, okay.
Definitely can relate to that.
Yes. I pray this episode help someone, change their whole outlook on this process, because grieving is real,
Absolutely.
And I mean, I think our culture, we set it aside and say, okay, it's going to be okay. Just keep praying, keep trusting God. Yes, we have to do that. We have to do that. But we have to take time to process
Absolutely.
that. Because I know when my dad passed, that was shocking.
Right.
I was 12 years old.
Oh, you were young.
Yeah. And see, I don't think I really understood what was going on,
Okay. I can understand that.
But I noticed once I got older, everything, I kind of start processing things, I mean, I was having moments like crazy, wishing he was here, had my ball games, so,
wow.
At 12, him passing, I knew, but I didn't.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that was, it was different. And then with my grandmother passing, I mean, she was the glue to the family, the glue. So that just took everybody out.
Wow.
And dealing with that, that was a hard one.
I can imagine.
That was a hard one, so just trying to process that. I mean, to this day, I still be like, oh God, Mom, I miss you.
And it never goes away.
It never goes away.
It never goes away.
It
never goes away.
And then the passing of my Uncle Freddie,
Oh man.
That just, tore me up.
I remember when that happened.
Yes.
I remember when that happened.
We was married.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were.
No.
We're married?
We weren't married, but we were dating.
We were dating.
It was.
Yes.
I think it was maybe a year before we got married.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. Yes, my uncle passed, and I mean that was my dude. I mean, he, helped me learn how to deal with women.
Oh,
So, I love Uncle Fred. And I mean, and he just encouraged me to be myself. Growing up in the church, I love wearing shirts and ties,
oh Lord, don't we know?
Yeah.
And the
Sherry,
bow
don't do that.
ties, Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because that was me. I was church boy,
And
love,
the loafers.
Yeah.
Lord, don't forget about the loafers,
Yeah,
Jesus.
why are you hating on my loafers?
Shorts and loafers, dress pants and loafers, loafers and loafers.
I smell hate. But
It is what it is.
Yeah, but he used to tell me just like, look, Henry, be you. Because I remember a time that I believe I was telling him about the other guys, how they dressed and everything.
And you was trying to fit in.
I was trying to fit in. He
No,
was like,
be you.
no. He was like, be you. Wear your shirts and ties. Wear that stuff.
And you took him at his word,
Right.
didn't
He
you?
said, don't even care about the mother,
bleep,
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 right.
bleep.
You do you, so Uncle Fred, just crazy. And then the passing of my cousin, Jennifer.
Oh, man. That took the whole state out.
That took
The whole state of Ohio.
Yes.
That was like an oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And now I still don't. It's like I don't believe it. So it's like every day, just dealing with that grief, and just trying to process it. And we're going to talk about, people need to be sensitive to other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
During that time,
And we need to stop telling people it's been 3 years, it's been 10 years, it's been 6 months.
Right.
Move on. No.
Right.
You move on because life goes on.
Exactly.
But that doesn't stop the love that
Right.
you have for your loved one.
That's right.
And grief comes in waves. You
Yes, it
can be
does.
walking around here smiling
Yep.
and
Yep.
something hit you like
Yep.
a ton of bricks.
That's true. That's
Like a
true.
boulder hit you,
Yeah.
and you're crying, and I mean you're just a wreck.
Right.
And
Exactly.
15 minutes later, you back to yourself. So you can't tell people get over it.
Right.
It's been X number of months or weeks or whatever. You should be moving on. No, that's first of all that's selfish.
Very selfish. And some people, if you see someone post something on Facebook, you don't know at that time what they're going through.
Absolutely right. That's
so
right.
that post, that's therapy for them.
It could very well be.
So we have to be sensitive to that, and that takes me to my next point, with us being married, I feel couples need to be sensitive to each other
Absolutely.
as well. I mean, I appreciate you, being there for me during my uncle, during my cousin,
Likewise.
And it's like, when you were going through your process, when we were married when your mom passed. We wasn't married when your dad passed.
No, we didn't even know each other then.
We didn't know each other. But when your mom passed, just to see you go through that, I had to adjust. I had to kind of fall back a little bit, and let you have your space, because you had to take care of her business, you had to do everything.
Right.
And then after your brother passed,
Oh man. That was a gut punch.
yes, and to see you go through that, I couldn't imagine that, and
It's
just,
a lot.
And I just really just had to pray for you, be there for you.
And I appreciate that.
And if you would have moments, I had to be sensitive to that.
Right.
So it's, I don't know. I think couples, we need to be sensitive to each other.
Absolutely.
When we're going through that process.
Right. Couples, families, friends,
Oh God.
everybody.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Like I said, when people, like you just said, like when I lost my dad, it was me, my brother, and my mom. We walked through that process together. When I lost my mom, me and my brother walked through the process together. But when I lost my brother, it was me.
So if y'all hearing what she's saying, it's her father, her mother, then it's her and her brother.
Right.
So she's the only one left.
That's it. I mean, it was only two of us. Come from a large family. You know, my dad and my grandparents, large family. My mom's family is large. She didn't have but three siblings. It was four of them. But the extended family. But even though, and I've told you this before, even though when my brother passed, even though I had an amazing husband in you, 3 amazing children, 5 grandchildren, a plethora of uncles and aunts and cousins and nieces and nephews and friends. You know how the service, I mean, well, I have, well, not nieces there, but you know what I mean.
Right.
I felt like I was by myself.
Yeah.
I felt like I was out there by myself. And it was because it had always just been me and Terrell. Like every life event, when our mom was sick, it was me and Terrell. When our dad was sick, it was me, mom, and Terrell. And, you know, like I said, we walked through the sickness together. We walked through the death together. And to lose him, it was like I had lost the other part of me.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know. Sometimes I still don't know how you do it, because I mean, it's like you said, it's just you. You know, I mean, I know God is
absolutely.
He's helping you through this.
If it had not been, if it had not been, but I know the support from you, from my family, but you're there when nobody else is there. So like, there are times that I shut down, and I respect the fact and appreciate the fact that when you see that in me, you give me my space. You respect it. You're supportive, and you just listen. If I feel like talking, you listen. If I don't feel like talking, you give me my space, and I appreciate that. I really do, because it says that you respect the space that I'm in. And that means a lot. And people have to learn how to respect the space a person is in.
Yes.
If they are in a space where they want to talk, let them talk. If they're in a space where they just want solitude, give them that.
Yes.
And never tell a person they can't cry. Like, God. Stop crying. Don't cry. No.
Yes.
Tears are a healthy release.
A release, exactly.
And encourage people to get some help.
Right. Yeah.
Like, we need therapy. It's okay to have a pastor, but every now and then you need somebody with some letters behind their name too.
Right. I'm telling you. I mean, go talk to someone.
You do. Because when you go through the grief counseling, the best thing about that, like I went through it from my mom, and then I went through counseling from my brother. I did not go through counseling after my dad, but I should have. But with my mom and my brother, the two things that I learned was, one, that it's okay to have those moments. Give yourself some grace.
Right.
Don't beat yourself up and feel like you're just losing it, because it's natural. And then the second thing was to learn how to do, like, for holidays. Terrell was big on holidays.
Yes.
So
the barbecue man.
We had to learn how to do things different. Because when you do it in the same way, then that brings the memories back. So we had to learn how to celebrate by creating new memories, if that makes sense. So that was a healthy thing for me, is we're still celebrating, we're still with family, we're still acknowledging him as well, of course, wishing he was there, but we're doing it in a different way than we would have done if he was here. And the same, thing, even with my mom, like I had to apply all those things. And I know, like, for you, your grandmother raised you, helped raise you. And so your family had to learn how to do things outside of having her there.
Exactly.
Like,
because she did everything. She cooked Thanksgiving, Christmas, babe. She did everything. You know, I mean, she was the glue to the family. I mean, even though she was quiet, laid back, but her personality was so big. You know, you felt her spirit. You know, I mean, you felt the spirit through her food. You know, through her laughter.
That love.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know,
felt the love.
Yes.
Yeah. And people have to understand that we don't ever know when it's gonna hit us.
We never know.
You don't ever know at what moment, how. We know one thing for sure: we all gotta go.
Yeah, that's true.
And a part of grief that will destroy a family is having to make decisions and not knowing the best thing to do.
And see,
that's a whole nother topic.
A whole nother topic. And I mean, I embraced that. I embraced that part when we got married, you know, to make sure that you were taken care of, my kids were taken care of.
Right.
You know, because it was something that I didn't want to talk about.
We never want to talk about it.
We never want to talk about it, you know, but we have to make sure we have our business together. I mean,
right.
Men, if you're married, if you're not married, if you have kids, get you a life insurance, get some life insurance.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we have to make sure we take care of our family when we're gone, because it's not fair to them.
It's not fair to them, to your family members, to have to decide and guess what's the best thing to do. And I have this saying, dead money is the worst money. And what I mean by that is, if you don't have it allocated out who needs to do what, then now you got everybody arguing.
Dead money is the worst money.
It is, because everybody think there's something in it for them. When a whole lot of times, by the time they take care of all the expenses, there's nothing left. And you don't want your family having to go through probate court, fighting over this and trying to figure out who's getting what. And then if you've built a home or, you know, established a place of residency, now they got to go through court because you're married, got to split it between the kids. Just allocate it, you know, say, okay, this is how it goes, and put it in writing. And don't think that you can just get it notarized and that's good enough. You need to have an attorney, file it with the court system. So it's legal. It's a legal binding document.
Right attorney, because you'll have attorneys calling you down.
Man, let me tell you something.
You know,
let me tell you something. Have a death, have a wreck.
Everybody's calling.
Everybody want a piece of the pie.
Right.
They ain't even genuinely concerned about your well-being. Right. They just want to get in there and figure out how they can get $2.
Because at that time, you know,
you're vulnerable.
Yep. And during that process, someone needs to hear this. Make sure. I know it would be hard, but you have to think clear.
You do as much as you can.
Right, and you have to make sure you have someone close to you that can help you.
Absolutely.
Think clear.
Yep. Because the Bible says, "Be anxious for nothing," and when people know that you're vulnerable, they take advantage of those things.
Yes.
And they'll have you spending money that you ain't even need to spend.
Right.
And you won't even realize it until after the fact. And then they going on about their merry way. They done got their coins. They don't even call to see if you okay.
Right, exactly.
So like I said, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But you're right. They need to have that person that's close by that has a way of thinking with a level head, thinking clear, that understands, you know, and that person that's gonna have your best interests. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then another thing, let me say this too, because I know sometimes, like I experienced a tragic death with my brother. That was tragic. So like when a family member is sick, I'm not saying that one death is harder than the other, but what I'm saying is the situation, the circumstance,
prepare for certain
exactly things. So if somebody's sick and you know they're about to transition, you can kind of prepare for that. But that unexpected phone call, you can't prepare for that. So when things like that happen, everybody reacts different. So sometimes on social media, we'll see people that have experienced a tragic death or loss or whatever, and they're lashing out. Rather than screenshotting it, sending it all over town, pray for that person. If you know them, try to reach out to them, comfort them, and give them some encouraging words, some wisdom, some sound wisdom. But most importantly, pray for them, because they don't know how to handle what they're going through at the time. So sometimes people lash out. It ain't that they mean to, and they may not even remember when it's all said and done. But that's their way of coping with anger. I mean, with hurt and grief, is being angry. They're angry at the world because they've lost their loved one. Me, I think I checked all the way out.
Yeah, seeing you go through that process when Terrell passed, I didn't know what to do. I truly didn't know what to do. All I could do was just pray and
be present.
That
was the biggest thing.
So it's like, so how do we, because there's someone out there that has lost someone, has lost a child, mother, uncle, father, those different levels of death, how do we deal with it? Outside of the spiritual aspect, we pray, it's a daily process, we know that, but how do we deal with it? How do we cope with it?
I think the first thing we have to do is recognize that we need help. You can't do it by yourself. Praying is definitely number one. But you have to realize you cannot do it by yourself.
You can't.
You need, because when that little voice is in your ear telling you, why you, then you fall into a deep depression, why you have to go through it. Why did God take my brother? Why did God take my grandmother? Why did God take my cousin, or whatever the case may be? Then you got that little voice in your head, and it makes things bigger. It starts to explode. Now you're angry.
You start eating.
Yeah.
Pulling on,
you start. Some people eat. Some people are emotional eaters. Some people don't eat at all. And they start losing weight. You lose yourself because you don't know which way to go. Call somebody professional. Get you some help and talk it out. And it's best to get a professional, because that person generally 9 times out of 10 does not know you from a can of paint. So you can share and just be open and transparent and share everything, and it goes nowhere. It goes right there with you and them, and it's a healthy release, because what you will find out is it wasn't as big as you thought it was. It was big, but it wasn't as big as you thought it was. One other experience I had was my oldest granddaughter, Mackenzie. Her dad passed before she was ever born. And with Shemaiah, my oldest, I thought she was going to lose it. Because can you imagine being with child, and all of a sudden you don't have that mate no more?
And your child has to grow up with
never meeting.
That is, I couldn't even... that's crazy.
It was so bizarre. And it's not something you can prepare for. You can't because you don't know. And again, because I knew we couldn't deal with that on our own, I've got to get her some help. And I got her a counselor. And you know what they said do? The counselor said, you need to do something in his memory. plant a tree, grow a flower, get something in his memory so that you have something to nurture and you channel all that energy to. And that's what we did.
Wow.
And that is what helped her come out of that depression, come out of that dark space. And now with Mackenzie, we've been able to do little things, like we kept things of his, like his jacket, his Letterman jacket, different things.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
so she has some tangible items of her dad. Of course, she has pictures. It doesn't take the place of him physically, but that was the best we could do. And it gave a way of her being able to have something that she knew belonged to her dad. So counseling, having somebody professional. I ain't talking about talking to your girlfriend. I ain't talking about talking to your cousin, your auntie. Professional. Because hey, this has really been good.
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
been healthy.
Yes, ma'am.
It's been a great conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
And I pray that somebody watching gained some value from something that was said, or, you know, triggered some thoughts for you. And if it benefited you, if you got something from it, be sure to let us know in the comment section. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Keeping up with you and Sherry.
That's how we do it, y'all. Make sure you subscribe, okay? You ain't subscribed, hit that button.
Hit the button.
Hit that button now. Hit the button. Hit that button.
Take care, y'all.
All right, thank you.
We really having our way. Now there ain't nothing they really can say. You shining, I'm shining, and we gon' shine together. You shining, I'm shining, and we gon' shine together. You shining, I'm shining, and we gon' shine together. You shining, I'm shining, and we gon' shine together.